Friday the 13th here in southern Ontario, Canada. So as the Bilderberg Group meeting, the annual meeting of the Bilderberg Group is, I think, wrapping up today. Some years they have a two-day meeting, some 3. There's more than the usual share of comments to me that the Bilderberg Group is the true power, way more power than the WEF. The WEF is a nothing burger. Well, let's take a look at that. I'm going to give you some food for thought. You can make up your own mind and some places to go research, should you care to. Now, the only thing secretive about the Bilderberg Group's annual meeting is what is discussed. There are no minutes kept, no documents, nothing like that. The stated reason for that is that the participants might speak more freely with perhaps no negative blowback when they return home. Okay, we'll take that with a grain of salt, and that's my words as to interpreting, the stated reason why the Bilderberg keeps no documentation. Anyways, moving on. The annual attendance is by invitation only from the Bilderberg Group's steering committee. More on that as we go. Annual attendance runs around 130 to 40 every year, and attendees are a matter of public record. No attempts at secrecy are evident. I mean, the independent media is there. Did the Rebel News not go there once? They don't try and sneak in tunnels, they rolls right up to the door. Rolls, yes, pun intended. You can Google the Bilderberg Group's official website. Wikipedia is kind of interesting. They list attendance by category: royalty, politicians, military, media, etc. Check it out. It's interesting and insightful. Lucas Cantor, a Czech researcher and academic expert on the Bilderberg Group's meetings, is well worth a look and provides some insight into, I'll just leave it at that. Otherwise, I go down a whole another thing. Now, what I notice, and I think is of consequence in trying to decide, the Bilderberg Group's actual power, is that while about half of the invited attendees may and do change from year to year, those who show without fail, the core group every year that shows at the Bilderberg Group meeting, doesn't seem to change. The heads of the UN, the EU Commission, the IMF, the World Bank, etc., high-ranking WEF members to a 1. Carney, Freeland, Macron, Starmer, Schultz, Mertz. They're there without fail. Now, as I explained in a previous video, the World Economic Forum's Foundation Board meets 4 times annually, and the Bilderberg Group at once. I think that's worthy of note, but I'll leave that to your assessment. In day-to-day global operations, so to speak, note again the UN, EU, World Bank, etc. are all WEF members. Now, anyways, do I think the Bilderberg Group has the best interests of we, the huddled masses, in their various agendas? Well, I'd sleep better if the unfortunate occurrence of a meteor strike were to occur. I think that's some mates of that. Now, I could prattle on further at considerable length in defense of my hypothesis that it is the day-to-day operations that the WEF influences and controls the lives of the peasantry, far more so than the Bilderberg Group. But I'll leave that to your opinion, and feel free to comment should you care. Again, reference that Czech fellow, Lucas Cantor. Now, note that Mark Carney, one of only 4 men in the world, as far as I can tell, that sits on both boards at the WEF, also sits on the Bilderberg Group's steering committee as well, sending out the invitations. Again, check out the Wikipedia attendance. It's interesting. I may research this further just out of interest, curiosity. But anyways, in summation, I run into the realm of speculation that the annual Bilderberg Group meeting also serves in a Bond-like movie, you know, an organization of global elitists, supervillains, meet there to divvy up the spoils. Can we imagine Anja Banga, the head of the World Bank? They got 40 billion or 44 billion missing. How does that happen? Don't forget the great wealth transfer of 2020, 21, and 22, where a third of the world's wealth transferred from the shrinking middle class to the elitists. So I envision the core group, again, predominantly WEF members, sitting there with their laptops, and they have some sort of scoring system, and Anja Banga there, the World Bank dude's going, okay, Carney, we're transferring, you know, X gazillions, whatever dollars, to you, and Freeland, and Macron, and Root, and Guterres, and so on. They divvy up the annual spoils, and well, you know, we didn't do as well this year as we did in 2021 and 22, but hey, that was unprecedented, right? We still scored pretty big this year. Thing is, there's only so much wealth you can extract from the already squeezed stones of us, the huddled masses. Anyways, that's my theory on the Bilderberg group. I thought you might find it interesting. I did. Let me know what you think in the comments. And again, I've given you some reference if you're curious to go poking around. Feel free.